Hey y'all. So I want to address a couple of things that Controlla apparently said this morning. But let me make this clear first. When I said I was done watching Controlla, I was done watching Controlla. When I seen that her daughter was actually excited and happy to have had a bath and clean toenails, I was done. I watched Controlla to clown her. I watched Controlla to call her out because literally everything she says is a contradiction or a lie. Or she said something worse or similar, so she has no room to be calling someone else out in the first place. That's literally the only point of my videos. If y'all actually paid attention, you would see where majority of those clips came from. But I digress on that. I don't mind putting shit out if other people don't want to. And people send me things, so I'm gonna put it out. The only thing that I've gone to Controlla's channel for is to look for her saying that Shalinda has the same skin complexion as she does, therefore she has no room to say that she is mixed, whether or not she is mixed. But two of us have been looking for it, and neither of us can find it, so that says a lot. But again, I have no interest in giving this lady views unless something is sent to me or I have a direct timestamp, period. And I've never been the type to say, like, oh, I don't watch so-and-so, and I'll prove it. Either people just don't see it, or they don't realize it, or they don't care to realize it. But everything that I say, everything that I have made a video on is in response to something that Controlla has said. And even when I wasn't saying shit about her, she was still talking about me. I didn't say a word because I don't care. What I do care about is you, Controlla, trying to be out here calling other people out for shit that you've done, or done worse of, especially pertaining to race. Especially pertaining to being offensive or insensitive. We watched you mock T's accent and say that she lives illegal. We watched you say that Jews are dirty. We've heard you talk about edges and nappy hair. We heard you call a woman of color a burnt bitch. Like, the list goes on and on and on. That's the only reason I came out and made a video, because you have no room to be doing that. And a panel full of women told you that you have no room to be doing that. They told you that they felt what you have done is equally offensive. So if you actually had taken heed to what people said, you would have taken a step back and said, let me take a step back from this. Obviously, I'm not the one who should be trying to make this point. Yet you still continue to do it because you don't give a fuck. You feel validated because one person still chooses to fuck with you, even though the majority is saying, no, that shit ain't cool. And that's the only point of my videos. So if you feel like these videos make you look a type of way, then maybe you should take that up with yourself, because it's you doing it. I'm just pointing it out. I'm gonna prove to y'all that I have no interest in, oh, she's live, and watching this bitch. I did, like I said last night when I got sent the link, I clicked on it. We knew she would cry. Oh, they don't like me over there. They called me racist or whatever the fuck, which I guess she did end up doing, but I didn't even get that far. Again, until you can bathe your child and make sure that she has clean toenails, you can't step to me or address me about shit. And you don't have nothing of interest for me to want to come see either, right? So one of her claims was that a troll in her chat room must have been me or T, because no one else is dumb enough to defend Bombshell. As you can see, I do not have a troll account. On my laptop, there are 2 other accounts. Both are my kids. Both are connected to their Google Classroom. It's for research purposes only. I cannot look at my channel or Controlla's channel. It is highly restricted. And I'm rarely ever on my laptop, so not happening, bitch. If I want to defend somebody, I'm going to defend them. I don't need a troll account, and neither does T. T speaks her mind as well. No one needs a troll account to defend Bombshell, or anyone else for that matter. She also told me to mind my business, which is super funny because she butted her head into all this bullshit because it, had something to do with Bombshell. You don't get to interject yourself into some shit and then tell everyone else that they need to mind their business. Like, that's not how shit works, sis. I had also gotten a text message, a notification. See if I can find it. But when I click it, it doesn't go to anything. So it says, besides the vulture racist bitch, how can you say anything about her and still sit there and support Bombshell? The whole reason last night was because she kept, and then I don't know what else it says, but let me go.
Listen, let me tell y'all about Beth, okay? Beth ain't going nowhere. Beth and I yell at each other all the time. We argue all the time. But I love that girl. You know why I love that girl? Because that girl is one of the only people on this forum that tells me what I don't want to hear when I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? I respect her, even though she gets on every nerve I got. I don't know what you mean by she was questioning. Whatever she was questioning, Beth, what were you questioning? I'm not going to take a wrench because I know where her heart is and I know her heart's in the right place. Okay? Alright?
Now, as you can see,
Is one that's going to tell you you're wrong even when you don't want to hear it, right?
I was posting a shit ton of links that I have sent to Bombshell myself regarding the whole W word. And again, I don't care if I'm cool with you or not. If I feel that you're wrong, I'm not going to just sit back and not say nothing. Bombshell knows that I've been upset with her. Me and Bombshell have been arguing for 4 days. And it's someone else's business, but I don't just sit by idle and support people who do stuff like that and not say anything. So what I find funny about all of this is when it was Controlla when I was friends with Controlla and she was out here saying offensive shit like calling a woman of color a burnt bitch. I didn't unfriend her. So people are asking how I can still support Bombshell, yet people are still out here supporting Controlla. So what kind of question is that? And where have I shown any type of support in this situation for Bombshell when I've literally, specifically said she needs to be held accountable for saying the word. She needs to be held accountable for the way that she reacted, and she needs to speak to the people who want to speak to her. Both publicly and privately, I have told her that I don't like the way she's handling this. Again, not anyone else's business, but most definitely have. For you to come ask me that question, though, ask everyone else that question. Now, she also said, oh, all of BXO's videos are about me, it's harassment, blah, 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 slander. In order for something to be slander, it would have to be a lie. Show me where I've lied. I'll wait. Because people fail to realize that every video I've ever made is in response to Controlla. And even when I wasn't fucking with this girl, like I just showed you, she was still talking about me. She was claiming I was trolls in her chat room, said some slick shit about, oh, BK abandoned y'all, and y'all, everyone who followed him were sheep and blah, blah, blah. Yet, she followed him. She gagged on this dude's entire ball sack the whole time he was on YouTube, up until the point of him calling her out. I've actually had arguments with BK, and I've stood my ground in those arguments with BK, and we're still cool. Well, we're, unfortunately. And let me make this very clear. I commend BK for what he's doing. He has the willpower to do something a lot of us do not. Now, as far as her comments about me claiming that I don't talk about females' looks and tear women down, let me show you the video that she specifically talks about. She mentioned this video right here where I circled her nose. Why did I circle your nose, Controlla? Because it definitely wasn't to come out and say that you were ugly. It's literally pointing out the fact that you of all people, just like every other video that I've made, you of all people have no room to be talking about another woman's nose. This video was made because you said something about Ronnie having a big nose. Me saying that your hair was greasy and dirty is a fact. You came on the internet with dirty, greasy hair. That's not my fault. How is that tearing you down? She said, I have a full-time job, a whole husband, 2 kids. Then she said 3 kids, which I have 2 nephews, by the way. Not just 1, but I digress on that. Actually, I have 3 altogether and 1 niece, but I'm not surprised that Controlla doesn't know that situation. We've been proved that she never paid attention to anything that any of us said anyway. But the part I find funny is she claims that me making these videos pointing out that she has no room to talk on any of these points, it must be an obsession and blah, blah, blah. Yet she's made videos about Bombshell. Her and Bombshell have gone back and forth for 3 fucking years. So really, who's obsessed? I make clips that are a few minutes long pointing out your hypocrisy. You follow Bombshell into whole other communities and go into people's chat rooms who don't like her, just to bond with people based off of that. So who really has the obsession? Anything that's ever, like you sat in a chat room yesterday and I have a screenshot that was sent to me from someone who was there, telling people you will send them a file about Bombshell. You will never catch me doing no shit like that. There's only been one person that I reached out to that didn't come to me first, and that was JP. I told him to be careful. Everyone else came to me, asking me about you. I didn't go to inboxes like you did. You know how you vented to your Discord server? I never did that shit. Yes, I called you out in front of people, but I was never in anyone's inbox trying to convince them otherwise. I also find it funny, like I said, I didn't unfriend Controlla when she said offensive shit to people. I may have been upset with her. I may have, told her that I was upset. I may have not talked to her for a minute, but I didn't abandon her. So for her to act like that's what I should do in the Bombshell situation is hilarious. And when I was making videos about Bombshell, she didn't have a problem with it. It wasn't an obsession then. Controlla continues. Anyway, boys have a half day, so. Oh, and that's another thing. Yes, I have a full-time job. As you can see, not one of these videos about you takes more than a cigarette break to make. A majority of the time when I'm making little clips and in chat rooms, I'm at work getting paid. I don't spend like my family time like that on the internet, and the only chat I'm really in during the day is chasing truths. And of course I'm gonna be there to support her. Nobody's home during the day. It's me and the dogs. That's it. Plus, I can multitask. It's really not that difficult. Anyway, y'all know I'll be back.